No matter where you work, HR is not your friend. Ask Reddit on Reddit Rundown. Adults of Reddit, what is something every teenager needs to know? Parents fuck up too. Good parents openly admit their wrongs and use it as a teaching moment. All of us adults still feel like we are teenagers young too. Take care of your body and enjoy your youth, in any manner you can. In the mirror I see a bald middle-aged guy, but that's not the guy in my head. 2 related messages. 1. Almost nobody gives a shit about you. 2. That is amazing news. Somebody replied, I always used to cringe when I remembered an embarrassing situation that happened to me, because I would worry about what others thought of me. Nowadays I don't really care, and I always keep in mind that everyone has been through some embarrassing things as well, which means they probably cringe more about themselves than me, the same way I cringe about myself and totally forget about others. Right now, you have a massive span of life in front of you. Enjoy it. But remember, 10 or 20 years from now, you're going to be much happier if you both had fun and also thought ahead. Read. Exercise. Hug your friends. Show your loved ones you love them, whatever that means to you. This thread might be filled with ways to be a responsible adult and a successful person. Try as hard as you can to be a happy one too. Don't compare yourself to others too much. No matter how perfect someone may seem, they're not. Nobody is. Everybody has flaws and makes mistakes. You're okay. Basic household management. Learn how to cook a couple of meals, know when to tidy/clean up a bit, etc. Speaking from someone who moved out at 18 and had no clue. Oh, and look after yourself physically and mentally. Pulling out does not stop pregnancies. Somebody replied, seriously. I knew a couple that was like this in college. They never had kids and eventually broke up. I remember thinking when I heard that, that's really stupid. Now that I am a parent, I can safely say, this is the stupidest thing you can ever do. Do not even risk having a child unless you are prepared to be fully committed to them for life. That sentence doesn't even come close to describing what that experience entails. If you have problems, you will have to face them. Mental health, marital, financial issues of any kind? They'll bubble right up to the surface. You have to be prepared to fend all that shit off. If you fail, you aren't the only one who will suffer. Use condoms, use birth control. Until you know for damn sure you and your partner are ready. Being popular doesn't matter as much as you think it does. Somebody replied, just make sure that you know how to make meaningful friendships that can last you a lifetime. Better to have 3 close friends than be popular and have 100 fake friends. Adults don't have it all figured out. They are just used to the fact that they are not, and are usually quite good at hiding it. Dealing with your emotions will become easier as you grow. Even if someone says that their high school years were the best time of their life, doesn't mean that yours should necessarily be. There's a high chance your best years are far ahead of you. Don't blow your student loan on drugs. Don't blow your load in someone you don't want kids with. Don't blow off family/friend gatherings, they won't be around forever. Don't blow your cool if you can help it. It rarely solved anything. Learn how to fuck up. We spend too much of our lives trying to do everything right, but the best lessons come from learning from our mistakes. Somebody replied, there's definitely a right way to fuck up and a wrong way. I think I've managed to get pretty good at it. Learn to accept that you'll fuck up. Doubling down on a fuck up by not acknowledging it is worse than fucking up twice as badly. Fuck up fast when you can, that allows you to course correct earlier. If your fuck up hurts other people, get good at apologies. On a related note, do your best to do right by those your fuck up affects. Be brave enough to fuck up, or else you'll fuck up by not taking chances, and those are the fuck ups that will haunt you forever. You will make mistakes, and sometimes those mistakes will be huge. But that's okay. Whatever problem that mistake produced, it's only temporary. You can correct it. It may not be easy and it may take time, but you can do it. You won't give a shit about things that happened in high school when you're in college/working. Somebody replied, except for that one thing that you'll think about just before you go to sleep, or while you're driving to the office. But you won't be able to do anything to change it now, 3 decades later. Brains are dumb. Somebody replied, I can pinpoint it. It's December, 5th or 6th grade, just cold enough to form a good snowball. In our school just about everyone had a clique of 3 to 5 friends and everyone else was neutral at best. As soon as you exit school, we all made a snowball, half for fun, half for safety. You don't want to be caught without one. Another group of girls, some our age some a couple years older, saw the snowballs and started a snow fight. My friends returned fire. I just wanted home so I held on to mine. One of them saw me armed, and ran over to snatch my cap off my head. I saw red and chased her down full speed. To this day it might be among my fastest 100 meters dashes. In the end, we found ourselves at a standoff, me with Snowball a couple feet away, and her with my cap ready to be tossed onto the street with plenty of cars. A northern, cold, childish Mexican standoff. And I failed. My 11-year-old goody two-shoes brain couldn't handle the pressure. I started sniffling and threw the snowball away. There I was, in face of my friends and, as I thought then, my enemies, bawling my eyes out as a toddler. I had little street cred, and at the time I was sure I just threw the rest of it away. I don't recall the end of it, really. I just know that I got home with my cap intact, but not my pride. For the next few months, I was seething in anger. Later on I calmed down, but never forgot Kara. Despite not ever meeting her again, our school was huge and I never looked for her. These days, I feel it encompassed who I was at the time. Too emotional to explain the misunderstanding, extremely worried about my image, and yet unquestionably good, or cowardly as I saw it then, kid that didn't throw a snowball at a girl who stole his cap. And now I'm thinking of that moment again. Thanks. To those teenage girls, that older guy doesn't think you're mature. He's taking advantage of you. Somebody replied. Somewhat similar to relationship/attraction for teenage guys, if you put zero effort into how you look, bare minimum hygiene, not washing your face, same 2 outfits every day, etc., then you shouldn't be surprised when you aren't generating attention from the woman who spends 1 to 2 hours every day on how they look. 3 things I wish I had known. Figure out what you want to do. Not what you want to learn about. Think about the actual work you'd be doing in a field. Science is exciting, but are you ready to stand around in a lab all day writing stuff down in the most thorough way possible? Money stuff. You don't get rich with the money you earn, you get rich with the money you don't spend. Be careful spending money on trends and be aware of things you want to actually keep, not that you want to have right now. Also, Excel is your friend. Learn to budget as soon as possible. Use every opportunity you get. It may feel like there's always a next time, but there's also no reason to not do it now. Whether it's that trip with your buddies or the chance to have a private moment with your crush. Don't wait for a perfect moment, not even a good one. Use the moment you have, because you won't always get another one. And you most certainly don't want to have a what if I did that thing haunting you. There's always a million reasons not to do something. You only need one reason to do something. Somebody replied. This right here, I fully agree with all your points. Using every opportunity. I had the opportunity to travel for a year or go straight to college. I took the opportunity and traveled. I am so glad I did. I almost went straight to college, not get off track, but it was one of those moments that might never come around again, and you're only young once. I am so glad I did it. The opportunity in fact never did come up again, and it actually was the experience of a lifetime. To add to the money point, start saving your money now. Get into the habit now. Open a checking account for depositing your paycheck and a savings account. Set up automatic transfers from your checking to savings. Learn about compound interest and how saving now, starting early, pays off big in the end. Also, you can open a Roth IRA with Vanguard Online. It's free and easy. Ally Bank Online has it too. They have no minimum to open the account. Their online savings account BTW has better interest rates than traditional banks. For an investment account, don't worry if you don't understand the stock picks. You can pick a target date fund. Let's say you want to retire in 40 years, pick Target Date Fund 2060. They have a bunch of different ones you can choose from. Then just make regular contributions, can be low, like 100 a month, or more, depending on your income. Most people open a Roth so the money is tax-free later. It's a retirement plan that you use as an investment account. Everybody thinks they'll die young, but then you don't. And there's another 40 years ahead that you need to work and pay for. You'll thank me later. No matter where you work, HR is not your friend. Somebody replied, this was a rude awakening for me working for a so-called social justice organization and learning that behind the scenes it's just a company that runs a low-wage front line like any other company. Old-fashioned worker exploitation. The world won't care about your self-esteem. The world will expect you to accomplish something before you feel good about yourself. Somebody replied, to add to that, you gotta take care of yourself. Not just your physical self, your mental health too. The world will ignore it, but you gotta protect and care for yourself like you would for a close friend. Even if you have tons of friends, be your own best friend too. Look out for that dude, he'll thank you later for it. You're somewhere between 3 to 4 heartbreaks before you actually find love. Those breakups hurt, and you felt like that person was the one, but that's mostly just infatuation and raging hormones. Each relationship will teach you lots about whomever you were seeing, but, if you're paying enough attention, they'll teach you even more about yourself. Know yourself, be confident in who you are and what you need to feel valued and happy. Somebody replied, alternatively, just because you haven't dated in middle school, high school, college, doesn't mean you are unlovable and will never meet anyone. My stepdaughter is 15 and keeps saying she'll never get married because she hasn't ever dated anyone. It sounds ridiculous as an adult, but I also distinctly remember being her age and feeling the same way. Heck, I felt like I was destined to be single forever up until I met her father. Personal hygiene is critical. You need to shower regularly, soap on armpits, crotch, and ass crack, use antiperspirant, brush and floss, and do your laundry. Other people will notice your funk long before you do, and once you're known as the smelly person, it's nearly impossible to clear that reputation. Make it a rule that you don't leave your house unless you've showered within the last 24 hours, are wearing clean underwear, and have brushed your teeth and put on deodorant within an hour prior to leaving. It sounds silly, but there is sadly a large population that needs to improve their hygiene. Somebody replied, writing off this comment to emphasize how important it is to keep up with your dental hygiene especially. You will absolutely regret being lax about something that takes you 2 minutes to do every night. Once a tooth has a cavity, it will always be a future dental expense. Fillings and veneers do not last forever, and you'll need it to get a new one every 15 to 20 years depending on the dentist's skill. This adds up quickly if you keep getting cavities. Trust. And if your dentist ever recommends having your wisdom teeth pulled out, listen to them and get it done ASAP. Due to my wisdom teeth overcrowding my other teeth, I've needed a molar pulled and will need braces to fix my bite that's slowly starting to dig into my cheeks. And I've already had braces. They are not cheap, but I waited too long for this to be a simple fix. If you have the money to afford to fix anything now, do it now. Brush your teeth gently into your gum line in an up and down motion with the softest toothbrush. Don't neglect the tops of your teeth, brush everything. But do focus on the gum lines. Brush for 30 seconds on each of your 4 quadrants. Don't ever brush hard or with baking soda. Your tooth enamel will waste away, and over time it'll be absolutely painful to eat or drink anything. The final maintenance I recommend doing is never brushing your teeth right away after eating/drinking. Not unless directed by a dentist. Citric acid and sugar especially make your enamel temporarily weak for the next 30 minutes hour. That shit is in everything. So, it's best to wait at least an hour until you brush. Until then, swish some water right after meals that are especially citric/sugar heavy. I hope this helps in the future. Everything compounds. Your savings, your reputation, your career, etc. Get started early because playing catch up is hell. The one thing I would really emphasize is to learn about household finances/budgeting, saving, and investing. Take the standard of living you want and figure out what level of income it will take to achieve and sustain it. Then compare that income to your follow your dream job. It is fine to follow your dreams, but know what the trade-offs are, the likely outcomes will be, and have a plan B. Start saving now and open an investment account and an education IRA. It's amazing what a few thousand wisely invested as a teen can grow to over a lifetime. I started off by making a regular comment, but I believe this works better in a list structure. 1. Appreciate the moments and the time that you have right now. 2. Cherish the moments with your friends and all the time you get to spend with them right now. 3. Make time to be with your family at least once a week. Believe me, they are not asking for much. 4. Don't worry about having the latest technology or luxuries in the moment, all of those go obsolete within a year, but rather focus on getting the things you need. There will be a time where you'll be able to afford that, no need to worry about it now. 5. If you're wrong about something, you're wrong about something. Admit it, learn and move on, that's what smart people do. 6. Be humble, learn what you are and learn what you are not. 7. Fight for the little ones, you never know when cards can be reversed and you'll want someone to stand up for and with you. 8. Always be kind of heart, help, listen and support others, family, friends, even strangers, as long as it is safe for you to do so, of course. There are some scary people out there. 9. If you're dealing with a mental disorder and you feel like your world is crumbling down, seek help, from family, friends and professionals. Ain't nothing wrong with needing help. 10. Sometimes, and in some cases a lot of times, life is going to be unfair, that is just the way life works. Do not take it personal, do not keep it in your heart, do not carry with you for the rest of your life or even for a good part of it. Take what you need to take from that and move on. I am in no way trying to get preachy or sound like a life expert. In all honesty, these are things that to this day I think about often and that I wish I knew at different and very specific points of my teenage years. Life costs a lot more than you think it does. If you have a chance to really stand out in some way academically, take it. It's probably your best path towards a stable financial future. Physical work takes way more of a toll on your body than you think right now. Focus on school because a college degree is probably the safest way to avoid needing to work physically. Don't be swayed by Reddit's obsession with being antisocial. Having a support system is great, and reconnecting with someone you were an acquaintance with at one point can be a way to expand that. If someone's offering a healthy relationship, foster it. Don't burn bridges. People can be dicks in high school and really have a reckoning in college. You're not obligated to them at all, but realize people absolutely do change, especially moving out of a small pond. Thanks for listening to Reddit Rundown. Give a thumbs up and subscribe, and help me get to 1,000 subs. Leave a comment below on what kind of topics or stories you would like to hear. You can also check out other videos on my channel. Thanks and have an awesome day.